Social Security benefits would be increased by $2,400 a year for both new and existing recipients, lifting millions of seniors out of poverty.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and that was Bernie Sanders yesterday with a new announcement of $2,400 boosts that they want to send out. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, I've been letting you know here on the channel that all of these items are going to be coming back, and take a look at the headlines just coming out in the past 24 hours. Dems release a plan to boost Social Security by $2,400 a year. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and other Democrats want to pay retirees an additional $2,400 in their Social Security checks by raising taxes on the richest Americans, just coming out 19 hours ago. Also, Sanders, Warren, they propose a bill to extend Social Security solvency for 75 years. There's a lot of different parts to this, and increase benefits by $2,400 per year, like President Joe Biden had promised during his campaign when he ran those presidential elections. Now, let me know your thoughts, you guys. Now, this is not in here anywhere. I'm just throwing this out here now. If President Joe Biden in the 2024 presidential elections ran against Bernie Sanders, how do you think he would do? Because we just heard yesterday Bernie Sanders issue a warning to the president and Democrats saying, listen, you can't string people along. You can't tell them all of these promises, not fulfill them after a year, and think that the people are stupid and that you're going to just pass all this stuff at the last second and they're going to vote in your favor. You got to keep your promises. And let me know your thoughts. It sounds like he's kind of rebelling. He's saying, President Joe Biden, if you don't step up and keep your word, I'm going to bring these topics back up and try to help out the people. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Now, take a look at this. Yesterday, I reported to you, Bernie to Dems, change your course before you nosedive in the November elections. And he has been warning them for quite some time. This has been a reoccurring theme for Bernie Sanders. Take a look in yesterday's video. If you missed it, check it out right after this one, right from Bernie Sanders' website. Over a year ago, Bernie Sanders presses Joe Biden for $2,000 stimulus checks. This was for a fourth federal level check. Promises must be kept, he said. And he said, if you want to keep good faith with the American people, you got to do what you tell them that you're going to do. And he was talking about checks, and now he's saying bring back those Social Security payments for the American people of $200 for seniors. Now, again, if you missed that video, check it out right after this one, you guys. But let's take a look at some of the details. We're going to dive into the video footage. I'm going to let you hear it directly from Bernie Sanders. But very quickly, let me summarize this before we take a look at the video footage. So, this came out just yesterday, and it says, bullet points, Social Security will reach a point where it may no longer be able to pay out full benefits as of the year 2035 if nothing is done to boost the funding. So they're making efforts to do that right now. Senator Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, along with other Democratic legislators, put forward a new plan on Thursday, yesterday, aiming to extend the program's solvency past 2096. So they want to extend this out all the way to the end of the century. Now, this proposal would make benefits more generous, including an extra $2,400 per year for beneficiaries. So that was pretty much what the campaign by Joe Biden was run on. Now, very quickly, like I said, we're just summarizing this. Then we're going to take a look at the actual announcement and video footage from Bernie Sanders jumping down. Save Social Security by taxing the rich. Democrats have a plan. This is called the Social Security Expansion Act. This is the name of the bill, and it would pay for that increase in benefits by applying the current payroll tax of 12.4% of income over $250,000. A big change from the current system in which the payroll tax is capped at the first $147,000 in income. The proposed change would affect about 7% of taxpayers, and the plan also calls for improving the way inflation is measured for the annual cost of living adjustment, or COLA benefits, which has been increasing. We're hearing almost new records, and it's likely going to keep going that way with inflation. They're saying inflation is increasing, and yes, you're giving bigger boosts to COLA. However, if it's smaller than the inflation, it's like seniors and those collecting those fixed incomes are losing money, and they're not going to be able to afford the increased costs. Now, jumping down, take a look at this. If you're wondering if this would pass through the process of reconciliation and there's Democratic support, take a look at this. Sanders for years has called for raising the payroll tax cap, and some version of that approach is supported by dozens of Democratic lawmakers, including key centrist Democratic Senator Joe Manchin. So if you were wondering, it looks like there is the support to get this pushed through, and we're going to be seeing if they're able to do this, and they're likely going to be doing it right before midterm elections. As I let you guys know, all of this is going to be coming back. Do not be surprised to hear about stimulus checks, the return of the Social Security bump ups, to hear about child tax credits, unemployment benefits, all of these different provisions, wiping out student loan debt, coming back right before elections, because timing is everything with politics and Congress. And you guys, it's very unfortunate that people have had to wait so long, but we've been saying this for quite some time. With every day that passes, as we get closer, it's very likely during this midterm election year that you're going to see these come back, and some of them probably will get passed. Now, I'll keep you up to date here on the channel, but let's dive into the video footage so you can hear the latest from Bernie Sanders on this new proposed $2,400 boost. Now, before we dive in, very quickly, if you appreciate the content, don't forget to take a quick second, smash the like button for me. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you want to stay up to date, I'll keep you up to speed on everything going on as it comes out, and it's totally free. So why not? Come join the Ram fam. All you got to do is smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on real estate, stocks, cryptos, starting businesses. I'll keep you up to date. And also, you guys, keep an eye out for a comprehensive list of all stimulus checks. A lot of people think there's only federal level checks, but what we're finding is states, counties, and cities are releasing their own checks, and 90% of people that are eligible for these don't even know about them, and they're missing out on free money available to them because it's only available for a limited time. I'm going to make sure that none of my viewing community here on the Steve Ram channel miss out. I'm going to make sure that you know about everything. So keep an eye out for that. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in. Let's take a look at the video footage of Bernie Sanders on a $2,400 boost.
Our job is to expand Social Security so that everyone in America can retire with the dignity that he or she deserves, and that every person in this country with a disability can retire with the security they need. And that is what the Social Security Expansion Act that I have introduced today, along with Senators Warren, Whitehouse, Merkley, Van Hollen, Padilla, Booker, and Gillibrand, is all about. This legislation has been endorsed by many, many organizations, including the AFL-CIO, the Alliance for Retired Americans, Social Security Works, the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare, the American Federation of Teachers, and many, many other organizations. According to a letter, this is an important part of what this hearing is about today, according to a letter that I received from the Social Security Administration this morning, this legislation will fully fund Social Security for the next 75 years and expand benefits for senior citizens and people with disabilities. Now, how do we do that? How do you expand benefits and make Social Security solvent for the next 75 years, which is, I think, what the American people want? Well, the answer is not complicated. At a time of massive income and wealth inequality, at a time when billionaires pay an effective tax rate lower than the average working person, at a time when the very richest people in this country are becoming much richer, this legislation demands that the wealthiest people in this country start paying their fair share of taxes. Today, absurdly and grossly unfairly, there is a cap on income subject to Social Security taxes. That cap is now about $147,000 a year. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you are a multi-billionaire, you pay the same amount of money into Social Security as someone who makes $147,000 a year. Got that? It means that if you make $147,000 a year, you pay 6.2% of your income in Social Security taxes. But if you make 10 times more than that, $1,470,000, you pay 0.6% of your income in Social Security taxes. All of this is taking place at a time of massive income and wealth inequality. Now, that may make sense to somebody. It does not make sense to me. Our legislation applies the Social Security payroll tax on all income, including capital gains and dividends, for those who make over $250,000 a year. Under this legislation, 93.6% of households would not see their taxes go up by 1 penny. So the overwhelming majority of the American people would not see any increase in their taxes under this proposal. The tax increase in our legislation only applies to the wealthiest 6.4% of all Americans, those who make $250,000 a year or more. Further and importantly, under this bill, Social Security benefits would be increased by $2,400 a year for both new and existing recipients, lifting millions of seniors out of poverty. In addition, under this bill, we would increase COLAs for senior citizens by more accurately measuring the spending pattern for senior citizens through the Consumer Price Index for the elderly.
So there you have it, you guys. That was Bernie Sanders yesterday at the Budget Committee hearing, and they're proposing that new bill to boost up $2,400 for Social Security recipients. Now, I will keep you up to date as more unfolds here on the channel. As I mentioned to you, this does have support from Democrats. They likely could pass this through the process of reconciliation, and we will see this is added to the Build Back Better bill, or if there's going to be some other means by which they can pass it, if the president might do executive orders and executive actions like we're hearing could be a possibility for other stimulus provisions. Now, whatever unfolds, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. But that is the latest. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Just takes a second. It helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on. Just hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. And consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.